Well, ladies and gentlemen, episode 2 of the IKEA magazine research today. We're going to be measuring some of the parameters for all the magazines and adding them into the database. I am preparing the file. We'll have all the pertinent information in it, both in metric and imperial, which is US measuring systems. I still need to figure out how to make it available to the viewers. I might just post it on my Google Plus and link it. Anyhow, let's start. We're going to start with the US made magazines, and item number 1 we're going to do is measure the weight. So first magazine we're going to take is the Gibbs Rifle magazine, which is the bolt hold open mag, and measure it. It is 360 gram. Okay, great. And now we're going to measure its width using a digital caliper, just to make sure that all the mags on all the main parameters are taken in. 25.8 millimeter. 25.8. And again, I will be translating all of those into US inches and ounces later. 28.5. Okay, let's go on to the next magazine. So we're gonna put the Gibbs mag aside as done. Next magazine is the Tapco, the basic Tapco. Its weight is, as my scale shows, exactly 200 gram, which is considerably less than the Yugo-like Gibbs. The width of a magazine, and I'm going to go from both sides, it's actually a little bit wider, 28.9 millimeters, which is interesting. So this magazine is actually wider than the Steel magazine. Okay, Tapco put aside. Next one comes the Toth Tool magazine. Now, admittedly, a lot of these parameters may be available off the customer websites or vendor websites, but I'm of a mind that still wants to make sure that those numbers are correct. The weight of a Toth Tool magazine, Toth Tool engineering magazine, is 279 gram. Excellent. And don't forget to wait to measure the width from the back. Why am I measuring the width, you ask? Because that is how you can find out whether it's going to fit into a specific pouch or not, or specific magazine holding system. The width is 29.7 in millimeters, of course. 29.7. So far, it's the widest. Again, I'm measuring at the widest point of the mag. I'm not measuring other parameters. I'm not measuring, for example, the width. This. I'm measuring basically thickness of a magazine. So, for example, if I were to measure, and hopefully you can see it, the US Palm mag, it's 31.4, 31.38. Could be 31.4. So that now becomes the widest mag. Let's see the weight. 213 gram. So it's one of the lightest, but it's also one of the widest. Very interesting, isn't it? Okay, so let's measure the MagPul MOE magazine, and I'm picking the widest part again, which on MagPul is a little interesting. 27.8. So MagPul comes out as the narrowest magazine of them all. So if I were to compare them, you can see the US Palm mag next to a MagPul mag, for example. And now let's look at the weight. 186 gram for MagPul MOE magazines. So that is for the US made magazines. Let's go on to the European mags. And we're going to start with the Croatian magazine. It is all steel, and it weighs, I just turned the scale so you can see, 363 grams. And the thickness of it should be fairly similar to Gibbs, but we're going to find out. The thickness is 26.19, basically 26.2. 26.2. It's quite narrow. Very, very interesting. Okay. I just realized that I wrote something on the wrong line in a piece of paper. Not use the paper anymore, like most of us. Okay, Yugo mag. It weighs 371 gram. So far the heaviest magazine on this table. And its thickness is 25.56, 25.6. I'm rounding it up a little bit. 25.6. Interesting. I'm going to double check that again. 25.6. So right now, this is the narrowest magazine. Let's see how the Bulgarian mag does. Now, interesting, the Bulgarian mag feels a lot lighter than the Yugoslavian one. 306 grams, and it is by 70 gram. 306. And its width is 25.7. 25.7, okay. So basically almost the same as the Yugo size-wise. Now comes the premier brand new mag available in US, as far as European ones, which is the Arsenal. And the Arsenal weighs 275 gram. And its thickness is comparable to who? Its thickness is 28.46. So 28.5. 28.5. And it is basically almost the same as the Toth Tool, but I think Toth Tool is a little bit wider. Let's double check. Last time I got the Toth Tool at 29.7. And that was correct, it's more like 29.8 almost. So the Toth Tool, even though it in many ways similar to Arsenal 10, I don't want to say a copy or a clone, it is in many ways similar and takes the same concept with some improvements or changes, particularly on the inside, as you can see. It is a little bit wider. Next, and we have Tula. 252 gram. It's a little heavy because there is steel inside, a lot of steel components, and being a flat Bakelite, it is fairly narrow, 25.7 as far as the millimeters of thickness. And IzhMech, 253 gram. and thickness should be almost exactly the same. 25.7, which makes perfect sense. That mag was made to the same specifications. I'm not going to measure the 40 round Russian magazine, this mag. I'm not going to be measuring it because it's really not going to participate in this test other than in the beginning to show what is available. So this brings the data point of this test to the close. There will be, as you have seen, 6 Eastern European magazines participating in the test and 5 US made magazines participating in this test for a total of 11 magazines. Obviously more than one of each, and keep waiting for the next episode. Thank you for watching. And one comment about the question I might get or not get on this channel. I like getting questions. I like answering questions. I actually want this channel to be mutual communication, two-way communication street. I know a lot of YouTubers are so busy they don't want to answer questions, or they can't. I obviously have no subscribers, so you're welcome to ask questions. Please subscribe, and I appreciate if you help me grow this channel to something that might bring even more interesting parts into the video. Thank you again. Please subscribe.